What if becoming a businesswoman could change more than your income? What if it could change the way you make decisions? The way you see yourself? The way you think about your future? Because honestly, I don't think becoming a businesswoman is only about starting a company. Sometimes, it starts much earlier than that. It starts when you stop thinking, I need someone to give me an opportunity, and start thinking, what can I build for myself? Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying everyone needs to quit their job tomorrow and start a business from their kitchen table. Please don't do that just because you watched one motivational video. I'm saying that learning to think like a businesswoman can change the way you see your life. Because a businesswoman learns to look for opportunities. She learns to solve problems. She learns that her skills can have value. She learns that ideas can become something real. And maybe, for the first time, she starts asking herself a different question. Not, can I really do this? But, how could I make this work? And that question can change everything. Because when you're constantly waiting for permission, life can feel very small. You wait for someone to choose you, to hire you, to promote you, to give you a chance, to tell you that you're ready. But a businesswoman starts understanding something important. Sometimes no one is going to choose you first. And that doesn't mean you have no value. It might simply mean you need to learn how to create your own opportunities. Maybe you have a skill. Maybe you know how to help people. Maybe you're creative. Maybe you're organized. Maybe you're good at solving problems. Maybe you understand something that someone else is struggling with. That can become valuable. But here's the thing. Having value and knowing how to turn that value into a business are two different things. And that's where the learning begins. You start understanding people. You start learning about customers. You start thinking about money. You learn how to communicate, how to sell, how to make decisions, how to keep going when something doesn't work. And, honestly, that's one of the biggest things a business can teach you. You stop expecting everything to work perfectly the first time. Because businesses don't work like that. You try something. You learn. You adjust. You try again. And slowly, you become more comfortable with uncertainty. You become less afraid of not knowing everything. Because you realize you don't need all the answers before you begin. You just need to understand the next step. And yes, sometimes that next step is confusing. Sometimes you'll make a bad decision. Sometimes you'll spend time working on something that doesn't bring results. Sometimes you'll feel like everyone else understands business better than you do. Welcome to being human. The goal is not to become a perfect businesswoman. The goal is to become a woman who knows how to think for herself. A woman who can look at a problem and ask, okay, what can I do about this? A woman who understands her own value. A woman who knows how to make decisions. A woman who is willing to learn skills that can create more freedom in her life. Because let's be real. For many women, a business is not just a business. It can mean independence. It can mean options. It can mean creating your own income. It can mean not having to depend completely on someone else. It can mean building something that belongs to you. And that doesn't mean it will be easy. I don't want to pretend that starting a business magically changes your life overnight. It doesn't. Building something takes time. Learning takes time. Getting clients takes time. Making mistakes takes time. But every skill you learn gives you something valuable. More knowledge. More confidence. More options. And maybe, little by little, more freedom. So if you want to become a businesswoman, don't start by trying to look like one. You don't need the perfect office. You don't need a fancy logo. You don't need to pretend that you have everything figured out. Start by thinking like someone who is building something. Learn how money works. Learn how people make buying decisions. Learn how to communicate the value of what you do. Pay attention to problems. Pay attention to opportunities. Ask better questions. And most importantly, start taking your own ideas seriously. Because maybe the businesswoman you're imagining isn't someone completely different from you. Maybe she's you. With more knowledge, more experience, more courage, and a little less waiting. You don't need to change your entire life today. You don't need to know exactly what your business will look like 5 years from now. Just start becoming the woman who knows how to build. One skill, one idea, one decision, one next step at a time. And maybe that's how your life really begins to change. Not because everything suddenly becomes easy, but because you start realizing that you are capable of creating options you didn't have before. You can learn. You can adapt. You can build. And you can become a businesswoman in your own way. You don't have to figure everything out alone. Let's figure out the next step together.